Oh, he's cute. So, yes, I was updating my slides last night. My husband was like, do you have a video of snakes in your presentation? And I was like, I sure do, because this. So this, I absolutely love this quote. This is from a paper called The U-Cubed Perspective on Special Education. And they say, researchers now know that when people with math anxiety encounter numbers, a fear center in the brain is activated. The same fear center that lights up when people see snakes or spiders. As the fear center of the brain becomes activated, activity in the problem-solving centers of the brain is diminished. It's no wonder that so many people underachieve in mathematics. As soon as people become anxious about it, their brains are compromised. And this quote, this paper is from like 2019 or something, and like I reference this all the time because it just feels so real about what our students are experiencing. Like, this is how students feel walking into our classroom. It's as if they're walking into a room full of snakes and spiders because they see 5 times 6 on the board. That's a pretty, like, just to help give us some empathy about what students are experiencing when they walk into our classroom. And what happens, how many of you have received a lot of training on trauma-informed instruction? And I see a lot of hands up, right? A lot of times as special education teachers, you guys get a lot of trauma-informed trainings. So you are probably understand this more than I do, but what we know, there's a great study, the neurodevelopmental basis of math anxiety. And it says that the amygdala becomes hyperactive. That fear center that is snakes and spiders, that's the amygdala becoming hyperactive when our kids see numbers. They took fMRIs of kids' brains when they saw an arithmetic task. And when they saw that task, they saw that the amygdala became hyperactive. So those of you who have had trauma-informed training know that the amygdala is that fear center of the brain. So once that amygdala is activated just by seeing numbers, their bodies go into fight or flight mode. So anyone have disruptive students, disrespectful students? Anyone have kids that all of a sudden need to go to the bathroom all the time in your class? That need to go to or ditch your class, right? That could be their brain's fear response. That's the flight response. They're saying, I do not feel safe here, and it's nothing you've done. They see numbers, and this is how their brain reacts. They see the numbers, they walk into class, they're like, oh no, I don't know how to deal with this, I gotta walk out of here. Mister, I gotta go to the bathroom, right? And that happens all the time. I'm gonna put Mr. Jackson, call Mr. Jackson to blast right now. I had the joy of being able to be a guest teacher in his classroom. I'm working with his school this year, and we didn't know that each other was gonna be here at this conference. And I got to guest teach his 4th period class on Thursday, and I asked kids to work together, and I moved one student to sit with another student because they were both sitting by themselves. And the girl sort of she had like we both called it a visceral reaction to me asking her to work with someone else about math. And so that was kind of awkward, and we were all aware of that. And then she immediately says, can I go to the bathroom? And I knew, this just happened to me on Thursday, I knew in that moment that was her brain's fear response. She was choosing flight in that moment. We had a really impressive recovery after she came back from the bathroom, and we were able to get her back into class, but I see this all the time, right? This is a very real thing for us. And we know that when that amygdala is hyperactive, recall struggles to happen. Anyone feel like, why don't my kids know how to multiply? I swear we've learned this, right? They can't recall those things because their brain is in that hyperactive state. So it's just important to know that this is what's happening in our students' brains in our math classes. Is anyone feeling better just knowing that math anxiety is real? Like sometimes that I feel like a lot of times I tell people, no, math anxiety has like a formal scientific definition. There's this study about fMRIs of kids' brains with math anxiety. Like this is a real thing. And sometimes that just helps us feel a little bit better that, okay, this is a real thing. I'm not imagining that my kids are just always wanting to run out of my room. This is real.